What's up, you guys? It's Rob here. Today we'll be going over ticker symbol GME. We'll cover it on the daily, weekly, and monthly time frame for tomorrow's trading day, Friday. And the huge thing that I also will be talking about too is a little bit of the congressional hearing, because that did happen. Part 3 of that did happen today, and we did finish up today. Rather interesting, we have our third congressional hearing and we finished green on the day. What do you guys think about that? Let me know down in the comment section. But also, before we dive into it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, make sure that you ring that bell too for the YouTube algorithm. It definitely helps me out and helps this video get out to more people. And I greatly appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving me so far. So honestly, thank you so much. But really, let's dive into the chart here and we'll talk about the congressional hearing a little bit later. Overall for the day, we did finish up about 1%. We did have our intraday low of 155, which did cause us to break through a support here at 158, which honestly isn't a huge deal because we were essentially down below 158 for about an hour, got back above it and made a nice bullish move to our intraday high, breaking through that 164 resistance for a little bit and then became resistance again. And then we traded flat for a little bit, sold off, and then we had a nice period actually of consolidation here before we made our last like hurrah into the close kind of thing. But overall was a good day for GME. I'm going to take it because with this congressional hearing going on, it's definitely something that is going to factor into how the stock really moves kind of thing. So it was interesting to hear the SEC talk about, the new SEC director talk about transparency of short positions and really dive into that. The whole congressional hearing was extremely long and there was a lot of things talked about during it. But the huge thing is just the transparency of short positions. And they really like I don't want to say like honed in on Citadel, but they really honed in on the fact of Citadel like not possibly placing the best quality for us using Robinhood and Webull, that they would essentially place an order before us and then our order would get filled and they would make a profit from essentially jumping ahead of us kind of thing. And a lot of them definitely did agree that people jumping ahead is something that is not fair to the customer, because that is not right and that's not fair within exchanges and that's not providing the best customer service to your customers kind of thing. So that was definitely a slam against Citadel. Hearing that made me honestly really happy, and then also hearing that the new SEC director wants transparency about short positions, really huge thing that I'm happy that was talked about. But hopping in here, covering the charts, the huge thing is we finished above 158.91. We closed the day at 161. So we're pretty much right between our 158 and 164 support. If we hop out here and cover the 1 month trend, we're still respecting this trend line that I've drawn in, which is good. We're pretty much trading flat here for the past 2 days when we really take a look at it. We did have our nice, I don't want to say nice down move, but we did have our very volatile move to the downside, followed by touching 152. And you can see that the MACD is actually really overextended here. In the past 2 days, we've done a really good job of taking this volatility out of the MACD and bringing it back towards the equilibrium. We actually zoom in here to the MACD. We have a bullish MACD and we're sitting just below the equilibrium, which is a good sign. So if anything that I would like to see at a GameStop tomorrow is to see us get up to 164, finish the day above 164, which would be awesome for the stock, in my personal opinion. Yes, we still have the 60-day moving average crossing over the 200 EMA, and it's about to cross over the 15 moving average. If that does happen, yes, it is technically a bearish indicator. However, you got to keep in mind these stocks can literally flip on a dime. So for the 1 month, we're still honestly respecting this trend line. And the huge thing that I see here is that we actually almost tested this trend line here on this 1 hour candle. And that's good that we actually bounced off this trend line, which tells me that we still have bullish momentum within the stock. Granted, yes, we are essentially moving up very slowly, but hey, I'd much rather move up very slowly versus moving up 40% in one day, 40% the next day, and then dropping 90% the following day. That's not the kind of moves that I want to be making. I want to make that slow stair-stepping growth over time, because what that will allow us to do is have very low implied volatility and also really just cause more pains to to the shorts, because instead of them saying, okay, well, we need the dollar cost average down, they're going to have the dollar cost average up. And essentially will slowly be burning them out of their money, which would be good in my personal opinion. But RSI sitting here at 49, we're sitting just about neutral. So for us to make a bullish move, I would be looking tomorrow to the upside of 164. Can we finish the day above 164? Yes, it is literally a $3 move, which for the stock is going to be maybe a 2 or 3% gain. Like, if that can happen, that would definitely be very nice. But we do need to keep in mind that the overall market today in the morning definitely saw a nice dip, and then we saw a nice rip in essentially to the close. If we take a look here at QQQ, which is the tech indices of NASDAQ, we did have a nice dip, and then we had a rip, and then we had a dip, and then we had a rally into the close. Seems like what the market's been doing is having a dip here in the morning, having a nice rally in the lunchtime, kind of giving a little bit of it back into about the second to third quarter of the trading day, and then rallying through the last quarter into close, aka power hour. So huge thing though is GameStop is kind of trading similar to a lot of tech and growth stocks. So when you take a look at these two charts and just go back and forth, you can see that it definitely is trading very similar to these. So just keep that in mind. We are trading pretty much similar to a tech and growth stock, which is not a bad thing at all. It means that we're not a meme stock anymore, and we can do technical analysis on these charts. The next thing that I really want to talk about is our volume for the day was 2.94 million shares. If we hop back here to the day chart and really take a look at this, compared to yesterday, we were 1.7 million shares yesterday, and then 2.94 million shares today. And what this is telling me is that people are not selling this. A lot of people are not selling the stock. Yes, there's going to be the occasional paper hander person. We cannot prevent that. But what this is telling me is a lot of people are diamond handing and just holding on to the stock and just buying it when it gets down to a good price point, and they decide to buy a couple of shares here and there kind of thing. It's what we've been seeing over the past really 2 days. And we honestly, really what we've been seeing for a while is just us buying the opportunity and just essentially letting the short the stock, and then we'll buy it up and get it to a certain point kind of thing. It's what we're going to do. And essentially what we're doing is we're just waiting for either some news catalyst or Citadel to essentially get margin called and be like, well, now they got to cover their short positions. Then we go mo-ass time. So YouTube, I said mo-ass, not more ass. Keep that in mind. Algorithm. But if we take a look here at the MACD, we do have technically a bearish MACD here on the time frame. But the thing that I really like about this is ever since we had our low here of 116, we've been making higher lows, which is a good sign for the stock. We're still respecting this trend line moving forward, and I'm going to continue to look for us respecting this trend line. If we do close a candle below this trend line, it definitely is going to break the trend line and form a new trend, which would be a bearish signal. Right now, we're definitely riding a bear. It's technically a bear flag moving upwards versus a bull flag, which is moving downwards. So technically, we're looking for a candle to close below this trend line, which would signal a bearish move. But we don't want any bear moves. We only like the bulls, and we only want to go up and get our tendies when we're on the moon. But next thing I really want to take a look at here is the short interest within GameStop. Now, our short interest change is 0.17% for the day. So our short interest of free float is sitting at 22.51%. And our current short interest is 11.42 million. Let me just refresh this to make sure I have the most up-to-date data. Yes, we do. Borrowed shares is 213,300. So there's a negative borrowed change of 24,300 shares. Our cost to borrow is sitting at 1.25, days to cover is 0.59, and our utilization is sitting at 58.28. So our short interest definitely has gone down a little bit, and our days to cover looks like it has actually increased a little bit due to the fact that our volume is over a 3-month period of time just continually keeps decreasing. And our 3-month volume, if you keep in mind, is 21.93 million shares, and I believe Ortex is using 22.45 million shares. So definitely a little bit of a difference there. And our volume has just been deflating over time. You got to keep that in mind. And what it's telling me is we're just consolidating over a very macroscopic period of time, and we're going to be waiting for us to make a next move. And that next move may be the molasses, or it might be just a bullish catalyst to get us to the upside. I'm definitely thinking when I look at this chart, we are in bullish territory because we are still moving upwards. So I definitely see that being a bullish move. I can't see us making a huge bearish move to the downside because we don't have anything confirming that we are in a bearish territory. We're still in a bullish territory from a macroscopic point of view. So really, overall for the day tomorrow that I'm going to be really looking for is for us to finish at 164 the whole entire day. If we have to test 158, fine, let's test 158. But I really want us to make the next stair step up here and close a candle up here so we can start making that move in an upwards direction versus kind of trading flat. If we trade flat for another day into the weekend, fine, but we need to start eventually reforming that staircase and getting back moving in a bullish direction because we did give up a lot of this, and we got to get back up to this top candle and get back within that 172 to 198 channel. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys today. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to drop in a comment down below. I do my best to respond to every single comment in my comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.